Welcome to this episode of the Million Dollar Mastermind. I'm Larry Weidel, and before we get started, if you want to know exactly how to win again and again, go to weidelonwinning.com/webinar now to watch something I've put together for you. Now let's get going into this episode of Million Dollar Mastermind. All right, I'm with Andrea Burks, and the million dollar earner. She's got an organization in 6 states. She's been in the her business 17 years, but she's been running it for 3 years. And during that time, she exploded it by 60%, up well over $1 million in net profits. And so, congratulations and thanks for coming back.
Excited to be here, Larry.
Hey, I want to ask you, what do you think it is? Let's get specific. You know, people like specific. What did you do? One thing about you, I can tell people about you take your life very seriously. I mean, it's not casual and it's not la di da. Uh, you- Whatever you're about, you're locked in on it, because you want to you want to make something happen. You don't want to just waste. You're not a time waster. That's what I notice about you. So you hear these things like intentional or things like that. I mean, you just you're lock in, you make up your mind, you decide, and then you go for it. What are the things? But when you go for it, what are things that you would say distinguishes you in your schedule and you're dealing with people and the way you use your time? What do you do that's different? How do you get up earlier? Do you work more? Do you try and get things done in less time? Do you keep lists? Do you have how do you go about getting things done? Because that's what we get paid for. We get things done.
Yes, Larry. Well, I'm definitely very intentional of working on myself, and I do get up early. I go to the gym at least 5 days a week, early, and so I think that allows me to have a good frame of mind, and whatever's thrown at me, I'm not just gonna react. Like I'm gonna act in accordance to what's gonna help me grow my business. I think one of the biggest things I do have list of what I want to accomplish, and I am looking for people that want to run a location. I'm looking specifically for people that want to run a business that are not going to be here to waste time. They want to get something done right now, and I think that has helped me, to be successful. I mean, I don't want just to spend time with people that do not have goals, but goals are truly defined by a game plan. What do they want to accomplish? Early on, I saw from the founder in this company the Napoleon Hill formula for success, and I just knew that I needed to save $1 million so soon, so fast, that I could compound my money. So all that helped me get organized. Okay, as a byproduct of, okay, I need to make $1 million as a byproduct of running a business that here is 200 by 200, as a byproduct of having 15, 20 direct RVPs and putting the odds in my favor. So I'm always looking to put the odds in my favor, not because I'm not willing to do the work, but this is a mathematical formula. So yeah, I'm pretty organized on my approach. Everybody that knows me know what's expected, to get promoted, to get things done. I'm very systematic. So even, in the office, what they need to do, they know it. So they do it or they don't,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm not about wasting time. I love when you talk about the 4 point game plan. I really think somebody that's a go-getter is going to get the job done. They don't need they don't need to get all this training and training. The right person will get things done because the desire is there, the drive is there, the determination is there. So I'm looking for people like me, honestly. So yeah, I'm very organized and I don't spend time with people that are.
Now you have it in your mind. Do not stay in a slump long. Where did you learn that, and why is it so important for people to get in their mind now? You know, Losing can become a way of life if you let it. Everybody's going to get beat. Everybody's going to have failures. Everybody, happened because sometimes we make bad decisions. Sometimes we have bad luck, things happen to us, people disappointed. But the thing is, what are you going to do about it? And how fast are you going to do something about it and get back to full speed? So what you don't want to lose too long. I heard Bob Safford say that a long time ago. He said, yeah, he's a great guy, but he's been losing too long. You know, he's just kind of used to it. So what where did that get in your mind, and how do you react when things start uh, going bad? Numbers go down, attitude goes down, things like that.
Well, I did hear from one of your podcasts. You talked about the slumps, and we need to have the pulse in our business. I mean, the truth is, you are the system in the business. So if it's going good, it's you. If it's going bad, it's you. So at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I think we gotta, have adjustments. I truly believe that, it's no such thing as a month. I mean, you gotta have daily accountability. You gotta have a mentality. For us. Like for me, if we're not recruiting somebody every day, I think your business slowly dying. So we always go back to like, okay, what's happening with the recruiting, because that's going to be the gas in the tank to get us to where we want to go. And similarly, we were going to go take a trip to Orlando. I can't just go with like quarter of a tank. I'll be disillusional. So I'm not disillusional of anything that's ever going on in our business. And if anything, you just figured out what needs to get done and meet with the leadership team. Yeah.
Yeah, because like out of 100 things that happen, most are going to be normal, but there'll be like 10 really good things happening, really great people or really great things they did. And then you have 10 in the bottom that are not so good. You got to, you can't have time to deal with everything, but you can make sure the things that are bringing you down, the people that have somehow they've gone sour, they've stopped working, this, that, and the other, you got to deal with it. You got to confront it. You got to fix it, and it's like a spark plug on your car that's not firing. You have an 8 cylinder, 6 cylinder. Most of us have small engines when we're starting up. So you have maybe a 4 cylinder engine. And when that one of those spark plugs is not firing, it's really creates chaos. So if you got a person's got a bad attitude, they're not, their mind is distracted. They got you got to be able to know that, and the people that are doing good, you got to let them know they're doing good. You want to be in a position where nobody knows more about your business than you. Charts, graphs, this, that, and the other. However you set it up, however your mind thinks, you want to be that nobody knows more about your business than you, so you can emphasize the positive, spotlight the positive, and then go in without very little fanfare, clean up the drag. It's just like trash in the office. You sweep it up and you throw it out. you know, if you find gold in the office, you make it into a ring and put it, wear it, or a necklace and wear it around your neck. But you got to keep accentuating the things that you want to have happen if you want to keep the momentum going. And I've seen how religious are you about keeping a schedule during the day, who you spend time with, what you look for, how you keep up with paperwork, administrative things like that. How big of a staff do you have? Hey, listen, there's a lot of information online, but there aren't a lot of people who've actually done something. In my case, I've actually built a successful business that's accrued over $5 billion in assets under management and has done well even during trying times. Now, if you want to know exactly how I've done this, go to whiteelementwinning.com/webinar now. I've compressed a decade of learning into 5 short weeks just for those of you who want to give yourself an incredible advantage and are tired of waiting and watching others move up.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, even as we get with a brand new person, we're adamant about giving them a schedule. We know that anybody that's going to be spare time is going to be no time. So yeah, in the office, we do have a system where like people show up 9 to 12. I mean, we say you got to work it like a job till it pays you like a business, but I think now it's like a pro athlete. It can't just be 9 to 5. I mean, to build a
Right.
multi-dollar business, but just the mindset that they have a structured environment where they can show up. They're like, everybody's doing the same thing. So 9 to 12, we like to be doing, you know, outgoing calls, whether it be, top 25 list, orientations, dealing with the brand new people. And then from 1 to 4, we like to do interviews. And then we do KTAs, 9, 3, 3, 4 KTAs. Now with the Zoom world and unprecedented times, our company just showed us how great of an addition technology can be rather than driving around town. People could be truly efficient if they want to. So yeah, certainly, I'm a stickler for schedule. I think it's so important that whatever's in your schedule is what's important to you. And
Right.
certainly, whether it be my gym, we can do it all. So yeah, I'm very, very, very adamant about, we have a breakfast club on Wednesday where, we're meeting with the leadership team. Conference goes on Sundays. We have our super Saturdays every Saturday. So there's stuff in place because I believe big events have allowed our business um, to show the bigness of Primerica. We travel a lot, whether it be Atlanta, Winston-Salem, Keystone, about to go in April. And that just stretches people vision. I know it did for me, and it allowed us to not only um, compete and see all the walks of life. I think the biggest thing about the big events is showcases the different walks of life, which is what you're doing even in your podcast. You see all
Right.
people winning, why not me? It's like, okay,
Yeah. Right.
I'm not such like, I can win
Yeah.
this as long as I have that desire. So yeah, certainly a schedule is very important, for you to really, you can't expect what you don't inspect. So you gotta look at your daily agenda and see what's important to you.
It's important that you look around and see what's going on in the world so you can realize no matter how bad your opinion is of yourself, people that are dumber and uglier than you are winning.
No, I mean, when we go to
So,
MIT, I
yeah.
remember going back all the time. I'm like, okay, yeah. So you're thinking, oh, we're going to go to the million. Like, what's going on? Like everybody that wants to can go do great things in this vehicle.
Yeah. Well, let's just talk about running a marathon. I don't know if you've ever been at the finish line at a marathon. Do they run marathons in Miami and Lauderdale? And
Yes.
uh, go to the finish line. I don't know if you've ever done this, but I'm a photographer. So one time I thought, oh, that'll be great. You get these massive athletes, extending through the. Well, there are some like that. But on the other hand, you got people every possible conceivable shape. I swear you got 300 pounders that are 5 feet tall that are running a marathon that are total spazzes. But somehow, with that, head jerking this way and that way, the arm going around and the foot kick, somehow they practice and they ran the marathon. So you don't have to be the Kenyan athlete that weighs 1% body fat with a beautiful stride, lengthening out and barely breathing after running 26 miles. You don't have to have that kind of body, that kind of training and everything. You can run a marathon. It appears, check me out, folks. Go watch the finish line of your local marathon and see who finishes. It's just unbelievable that it just wipes away all the excuses. Like if you want to run them, don't think, well, I'm a little overweight, or you know, I'm- I don't really have enough mobility, or the. It's just get out there in business. It's the same thing in business and in life. Again, that are uglier and dumber and less talented than you uh, are out there winning big. So you've got this goes back to what you said is like all battles are really won, are really fought in your mind. And so let's talk about taking charge and intentional. Once you get successful, you earn the right to start making more and more choices about your life. And so you've just done that in the last year. You had the phrase building an intentional life, the one you want. So talk about how you came to that decision and how you've moved done some relocation on your housing and your office and your business to suit what you wanted, the life that you really wanted for yourself. Talk about that.
Well, great, Larry. One of the things that I truly believe that wealth is truly getting back my time. Uh, Being able to have a job back in the day, knowing that I didn't have the freedom to make the choices to even go see my dad at the hospital when he had a stroke. He's alive today. That truly showed me that at one point I want to own my time. I want to own my life. I want to be intentional about what I do because we have limited time. I mean, at an early age, I mean, my dad in his mid 40s, a stroke. My mom passed away. She's in heaven at 63. So it kind of like gives you an idea that I don't have all this time. People think, oh, I got time, I'm young, and I am,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know when it's going to be our last day. So we got to be intentional on our approach to live the best life we can right now. So with
Yeah.
that, I mean, living in the Fort Lauderdale area, I mean, I grew up in that area my whole life, but crazy enough, I always wanted to live in Boca Raton. I don't know. Just the air is different, the environment's different, everything's well manicured. When we go see you in Mar-a-Lago, it's 10 times better, 100 times better, obviously. But there was something different. And so you start rubbing elbows, with people and everybody has a business, stuff like that. And so I want my kids to have that environment where they're not gonna be, for lack of a better word, it's like, oh, they're showing up. No, no, no. It's standard. It's just an environment where, yeah, it's you're the one with an nanny. Oh my God, no, everybody has, so
Right.
so I intentionally realized I was driving to Fort Lauderdale every day in traffic twice a day. So it's like 24 hours of my life. And so, yes, I was making, good income. But I'm like, this got to stop. Like, you got to be intentional. So I moved out to Boca. I got a location here in Boca. So literally my life, it's 5 minutes away from everything I need. Even picking up my kids now, I have flexibility. I can do whatever.
Is that right?
And so it's amazing, right? And like less stress, right? Like I don't deal with traffic ever. And so my fitness center is right here. And we can all have that kind of life. We were willing to work hard and fight for that because truly those 25 hours that were taken away from me in traffic, I wanted them back. And that's what we got to go get outcome, not just chase income and this great, lifestyle. No, no, we got to go get our time. And even better that you're not trading time for money. I'm not required to show up to make money. I have passive income. So that whole thing came up because I'm like, I love what we do, Larry, obviously, but I dreaded the traffic. I dreaded the driving, and I'm like, something's got to change. And see, it's either you're either living the life you want and desired, or what are you going to do about it? And I always been the kind of person, okay, let's change it. You change it, and you can change it. And so I did that, and I'm just so excited. I'm building a custom $1 million home right now to be delivered in September. And see, the sky's the limit when you have big dreams, when you're willing to put in the effort, you can live the intentional life that you want. But better than anything, my biggest wealth right now is that I get to get back my time, that I own my time and I can do what I want, live our life in our own terms.
Yeah. And uh, how did you get yourself to do that? It takes a certain amount of frustrate. Frustration's a great thing in our life because you reach a point where I'm not going to put up with that anymore. I'm not going to put up with that person. I'm not going to put up with that town. I'm not going to put up with this company. I'm not going to just put up with it anymore. But that's good because without the frustration, you wouldn't make the decision because it was a big upheaval for you to move, right? That involved a lot. And for a period of time, that made your life worse, right? Talk about that.
Well, you got to realize anytime you want um, to chase something better, there's going to be a disruption in your life, and you got to be able to welcome that. For a minute, yeah, finding the office, finding the place. Like literally, I moved the month before the outbreak with, this pandemic, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like what? And so, but yeah, you got to be willing to go through those obstacles. I mean, people think the biggest breakthrough is going to happen because you're going to be in alignment in the Sedona Desert, with the right worship and everything's going to be perfect. No, your biggest breakthrough is because you're breaking through this big obstacle in the corner, just figure
Right.
do the right thing. And I feel
Yeah.
all my life, at least for the last 2 years, did I do the right thing? I remember making decisions about, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We need to be in a more competitive environment. And I was not necessarily the most liked leader at that moment, but I'm here to get you guys to get to the next level. And so, would you be willing to go through some rejection, some doubts, some challenges to get to the other side? So yeah, you got to get uncomfortable so you can be comfortable. eventually. So yeah, I realized I had to be comfortable being uncomfortable for a bit of time so I can get the life I wanted. And do I love my life, Larry? I mean, I love the decisions I have made. And you gotta think about it. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, your life is gonna be just like the last 5 years. Well, I didn't want it like that. I wanted my next 5 years to be unbelievable. So there's decisions that you need to make. I know making a decision is making a decision. So yeah, at a
Yeah.
point you gotta just decide and put to death any other option and just go for what you want. What is it? I don't know. Find out. Nick Saban always says, people don't have what they want because they don't even know what they want. Well, I know I want the great life. I want a great life.
Right.
I want to have a condo in Monte Carlo. I want to have
Yeah.
New York. My kid always
Yeah.
talks about it's like, yeah, we want a Bugatti. Like, what do you want? Go get it.
Yeah.
Life is won in offense, not in defense. So yeah, I'm all in. Go through anything. And it's funny because people's like, oh, I never gone for anything. Really? Last time check, if you were in traffic and you really needed to get home because I don't know, it's Thanksgiving, you figured out how to get out of that traffic on to the sidewalk and just figure out. What's it?
Yeah.
Just gotta figure it out. My great mentor Andy Young says you gotta find a way out of no way and
Yeah.
do what's required as long as it's morally allowed to do what's required. And I really believe we don't have problems in America. We have situations. Problem is somebody getting bombarded. It's like you have problems. We have situations. So I think also, I love the Arrow Lady. Actually, that's the team name they have me. It's they say that the biggest tragedy over time, people want to talk about feelings, how they're feeling, how this, affects them. No, I want to talk about ideas. Let's get
Yeah.
done. Let's accomplish something great. Let's be in CNBC as the biggest, benefactors, and that's gonna take a lot of work. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think as we surround with great people, you just know. And as I moved out here, I went to one of my partners in business, and I said to him, like, this is what I'm doing. Are you are you game? Something are you game? Like this, I'm not asking you to drive to Boca. I'm asking you to move to Boca because I wouldn't want to do that to you. And they sold the house, moved to Boca, are working here in Boca. This got to RBP, got to six figures. And oh, let me find out. Yeah, I challenge you to have a better life, right? And so my
Right.
is, can we disrupt people? Can we challenge people? It's gonna be, crazy, uncomfortable for a little bit, but it's definitely gonna be worth it, and we're never gonna be doing it in vain.
Absolutely. Well said. I couldn't add anything to it. Thanks so much. And thanks for spending the time. And I'm looking forward to seeing all the growth that comes from you being in Boca and having a new center to expand from a little bit closer to the north.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So thanks so much, Andrea. And is there any last word that you'd like to pass on to the people coming up and need to maybe make the disruptive, difficult decision that's going to get them going in the right direction?
Well, to always go back to that big dream that you did have. We all had a dream growing up as little kids. You play around with it and we get knocked out by the big bad world, but go for it. Go for it with reckless abandonment. You do matter. And you have an environment, where we're going to help you, where we're going to, challenge you to do great things. So, but get your own environment and be that nobody that becomes a somebody that leaves the land of familiar to chase their big dream. Because there is a big dream in you. Go for it with reckless abandonment.
Absolutely. Everybody's got something big, was born with something big inside of them to do, and they were born with the talents and the knack and the interest to drive them towards that thing. And folks, give into it because that's where you're going to be the greatest. That's what there's something you were designed to do. And so uh, don't you be the one holding yourself back. Thanks, Andrea.
All right. Thank you, Larry. Talk soon.
If you enjoyed what you've heard and are dead serious about finding out for yourself exactly how this works in the real world, I've taken the most valuable business lessons I've learned over 40 years and put them into something for you to watch. Go to whiteelemwinning.com/webinar now in order to move up as fast as possible. I'm Larry Weidel, and I run the $1 Million Mastermind. Go, go, go.